Well, off-grid Aaron here. January 22nd, 2022, Saturday. Crypto markets are still in the trash can. I think. I don't know. Let me take a look real quick here. I was looking over my notes. I have notes today because I spent the morning catching up on CFR videos. Council Council on Foreign Relations, where I am a fellow and participate right now. I watch their stuff a lot though. I used to dump on them constantly, uh, as being evil rulers of the world. Um, who's the guy? Uh, Not Brzezinski, but he was also on there, or was a CFR fellow. God, why can I never remember that guy's name? Richard Nixon's Secretary of State. When the market starts trashing out hardcore, I start paying attention to world news again. So, yeah, we watched, I watched CFR, What to Worry About in 2022. So here's what the Council on Foreign Relations, and they pointed this out, and I do well to remember this, and that they only deal with foreign policy. So they only deal with issues involving foreign countries. They don't deal with anything that's going on domestically. They don't deal with things that involve like the economy necessarily, or at least not here at home. Just like how we relate to other countries. So they got three big things they're really worried about: ongoing humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan, Haiti, Lebanon, Venezuela, Ethiopia, and Yemen. Then they've got rising tensions with Russia and the Ukraine, China and Taiwan, and also apparently there's still border clashes between India and China. Um, Interesting. I've been to that border. Um, I went to Leh Ladakh. Went to the one of the highest roads, motorable roads in the world, to get over that pass and go to the other side, and actually drove all the way out as far as you can before the Indian military stops you and says you can't go any further with their AKs. uh, so yeah. Oh, and then the third big concern is nuclear proliferation. Iran's development of nuclear weapons is back as a top tier concern or a tier one concern, as well as North Korea. And they say that it's very rare that these three major concerns are going on at the same time. Uh, but then we had, was it Jay Johnson that talked about this? I don't remember. Well, they're just saying cyber warfare threats to critical infrastructure. They made as an example, left or gave as an example the Colonial Pipeline attack. They're saying cyber warfare is replacing conventional warfare, which, yeah, big time. Like I said, I was talking about it the other day, that movie Zero Day. That's where it's at now. It's like everybody's still building up these huge militaries, and building all these nukes and stuff, but really, like, the battle's not going to happen online. It is happening online. It's been happening online with things like Stuxnet and Olympic Games and um, intellectual property theft and sabotaging um, infrastructure like pipelines and centrifuges and all kinds of fun stuff. Uh, anyway, yeah, so tier two concern, great power conflict between China, USA, and Russia because it's mostly just going to be a cyber. Um, Security challenges. They're worried about cobalt in the Congo because it's a key resource for battling climate change. They see that as a security challenge, or they would like it to be seen as a security challenge. They want seen as a security threat in the conventional sense. Oh yeah, that's where J. Charles Johnson. So his name is. They said J. Charles Johnson. I was like, is it J-A-Y, or are they just using his first initial? But his first name is actually J-E-H. J. Charles Johnson, or it was pronounced J. Anyway, he's an American lawyer and former government official. He was the United States Secretary of Homeland Security from 2013 to 2017. He was one of four people that spoke on this panel on the CFR today. Well, not today. It was a few days ago. But yeah, there's an energy crisis in Kazakhstan, China, and Europe. Demand is rising much faster than expected. That might be why China has um, banned mining because they just don't. It's not even. They just don't have the available energy for it. And then Kazakhstan, apparently the energy crisis is what sparked the unrest there. If you've been paying attention, they've been having lots of protests in Kazakhstan. And then I didn't have an idea. I'm just like, somebody needs to do it. It's like, I should do it. CFR is bouncing around the idea of a publicly funded, politically engaging, fact-based social media platform. Um, I think that's a good idea. I think that should be like married with like our election system somehow. And I don't know, people would argue, oh, it's all that's like totalitarian and like, you know, authoritarian. Um, what I'm about to say, people would say this. But I think voting should be required. I think there should be a social media site like that. Everybody should have a like KYC level verified account on it. Um, and that's where all information should be a repository, a nonpartisan, unbiased repository of factual, non-agenda oriented, unspun information about what's going on with our political system, with our military, who's doing what. Because right now we don't, it is a problem. I don't think we should censor the internet. I don't think we should stop people from talking, but we've got to have one place where we at least know the things that are being said about how we're being governed and what our military is doing are actually true and what kind of state our infrastructure is in. And like, I was thinking, well, they were talking about it too at some point. It might not have been this. I watched a few different, whatever they call them, roundtables, panels, whatever, um, this morning, and they were talking about what needs to be done as far as like fixing our education system and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, do they know to the degree that like our education system is designed to just pump out slaves? Do they just like, is that an accepted norm for them? And so they just don't talk about it in that context. Um, it, I don't know enough about people and their potential and abilities. Um, and I have this not altruistic, idealistic view that all humans are actually created equal, and that the stupidity is not genetic. It's taught. It's learned, and we learn how to be stupid to different degrees. um, yeah, I wasn't really planning on talking about this. This is one of the reasons why I need to have more of an outline. I can't just like give myself that all that CFR information as a lead off and then really get into it. So much research needs to be done. So many things need to be done. I've worked on my website a little bit today. There's actually kind of something there now when you go to amdaily.news, but not quite. Um, I need to learn how to use WordPress and how to do a basic blog website. Because because I'm not throwing any more money away on web devs on Fiverr. Wow, is that a waste of money? uh, so yeah, because I used to know how to do web publishing. I did web publishing back when nobody knew how to do web publishing because it was really easy. HTML was super easy back then. It's so infinitely more complicated now. They don't even just have HTML. Everybody's using like, is it PHP or something like that? And then there's Java, and then there's um, what's the big one? Python. There's another one that everybody's using, and then there's the integration of apps, and I need to finish that computer science course. I need to actually learn programming still. I need to get back on learning Chinese too. uh, I don't know if they're going to take over the world, but they're definitely going to take over the position of most influential. That's for sure. If we've got doofuses like Biden running this country, I mean, both China and Russia right now are like the USA. What, worried about what? uh, it's just a matter of time before we start rolling back all the bases. Which, thank God, honestly. Well, I don't know. The more I feel like I have a seat at the table, like this, I really appreciate that CFR posts all these videos on YouTube, and they're not the only ones who do it. All the different think tanks are getting into it and doing that. Brookings Institution's been doing it for a while. Atlantic Council does it. CSIS does it. Um, they're all they're all on there. It's like a plethora, and I gotta get away because mainstream media news is a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. There's I got this app, Simple Radio, and it gives me access to radio stations all over the world. Like, and specifically, like I can just search for news talk radio stations. So I've got this massive list of news talk radio stations, and I've got all the C-SPAN stations, and I'm listening to Al Jazeera, and I'm listening to the BBC, and I'm listening to the world news programs, and I'm listening to the China State stuff, and I'm listening to all the different AM talk radio stations that we have all over the country. I'm listening to talk radio in New Zealand and in Dublin, Ireland, and and it's garbage. It's just there's no real journalism at all. The talk show pundits bitch about how the other side doesn't do any real journalism, and they don't do any real journalism either. They just bitch about each other. Like literally, they just talk. It's like listening to school children talk crap about each other behind each other's backs. That's what it feels like. It's just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. I'm not getting any useful, actionable information. I'm just getting poorly constructed opinion that at its best is just making me dumber, if not directly contributing to the disarray, the horrifyingly destructive disarray that our world is. So, yeah, I've been paying a lot of attention to the World Economic Forum and the IMF and the Bank of International Settlements, and not from a standpoint of, oh, they're so evil and we need to stop them, but from like, oh, what, they've got a new journal out, they've got a new newsletter out, they've got a new article out, and let me read that and see what they have to say about things these days. I no longer hate Klaus Schwab. Is it Klaus Schwab? Yeah, Klaus Schwab. I'm just interested to hear what he has to say. That's all. But yeah, and the newsletters that come out from all these think tanks, like that gives you that's the best source for daily news. And It's worth taking a look at the Associated Press and Reuters, like what the headlines that come from them directly. But even they've gotten kind of lame lately. And it's not even that they've gotten lame, like they're good for quick headlines, to get a quick synopsis of what's going on in the day. But as far as like any kind of like real in-depth look into anything or, actual like investigative journalism, no, no, they're no better. Which is more propaganda bullshit. Read the book Propaganda by Edward Bernays. Okay? Please, for the love of God, will understand so much more about the world you live in. If you even if you even know who Edward Bernays is. Uh, it's craziness. Um, yeah, I didn't really want to do a long one tonight anyway. It's I'm still trying to put this together, like what am I doing with this off-grid Aaron vlog? What is it? What's it about? What's I'm pretty sure I'm gonna gravitate into. I was thinking about doing like continuing with like the a kind of like survivalist how-to guide, and I still might, but I'm not like I'm not a survivalist. I mean, I'm a survivor, and I've got a natural gift for it, and like being able to make the best and work my way through any situation. I mean, you can drop me off in a third world country with nothing but a smile, and I'll be all right. And I know this because I've done it. I lasted 2 years in India. I voluntarily left for Israel. uh, man, and I didn't have like a whole shit ton of money saved up or anything like that. When I went to India, I had enough money for like a month. I stayed for 2 years. Oh my god, I did all kinds of crazy shit to get by. And I met a lot of really amazing people. That was like the best. That was the best thing, and well, it wasn't the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me. My growing up was the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me. Jehovah's Witnesses and my parents were the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me. It's fucked up when your own parents are the most traumatic thing that's ever happened in your life. Yeah, I got the short straw on that one. Whatever. Que sera, sera. I've done enough episodes about all that garbage, and I'm not one to. Once I get it out, I don't dwell. I move on. So moving on. Got websites, working on them. Got the clothing line. Fudashi.fashion. Go there, buy stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna make more. Um, mm, that's the other thing I do. I want to have this kind of alien mushroom eye thing. Do I have that handy somewhere? It's just a rough sketch I did, but I want to make it into a t-shirt. It turned into an NFT. I made an NFT. I minted an NFT. Made one of my original logo graphics into it and charging $10,000 for it. You can buy it on voice.com. Not kidding. No one's. If I ever sell that, I will shit my pants with happiness. That guy. I want to make that a t-shirt. I'll probably make it cooler. I don't know. I might not. I can actually draw. I just don't ever bother to usually. I just remember the first time I really tried to draw something was when I was a kid and it was a horse and I did a really good job. Like people were like, damn. And then there was another time when I was in Israel, actually. I went to this art class with my girlfriend, and I had to draw this owl head from the front of a magazine. And dude, it was like, not to pat myself on the back, but damn, it was spot on. And again, everybody's like, damn, wow, holy crap. You draw all the time? It's like, no. I can, if I can see it, I can draw it. I just don't do that very often. And it takes me some time, too. I have to put a lot of effort into it. And like I'll make mistakes and like have to erase stuff constantly and redraw it. But like I'll look at the picture and look at what I'm drawing and be like, no, that's still not quite right. It's still not quite. I have a very good eye for things looking exactly the same, or making things look exactly the same. I know there's a lot of uses for that somewhere. I have all kinds of skills. It's insane that I'm not making any money with any of them. So I'm trying so hard. Yada yada yada. Good night.